Okay, that was great. So now over to Prashant, and he'll share some words with us.
So it's such a lovely thing to say. And I want to thank all of you for joining us here today on this great day that we are celebrating this occasion. And I also want to say to all those family members who could not make it, those who are in America or Canada or wherever, that we all miss you on this day. We wish you were here. But for that, we are putting up this entire function on the internet. So wherever you are, you can all watch it. Okay, and I just want to say to you that 100 years ago, in this month, 100 years ago, in the year 1910, I remember this is 100 years ago. This is before World War I. This is before the Titanic sank. Three men were born in this month. Who, as we already know, their names were Ezekiel Solomon, Samuel Prem Dass, and Mr. Young. Early Young. And both of these men, they were destined to become friends later on in their life. They got married to two lovely ladies named Nora and Helen. And they have, Ezekiel has 9 children, 14 grandchildren, and 18 great-grandchildren.
Very good.
Okay? And Samuel has 4 children and 7 grandchildren and 7 great-grandchildren so far.
Still going.
Unfortunately, my Dada, Ezekiel, unfortunately, he could never meet any of his grandchildren. And my Nana, Sammy as we call him, he passed away on my 4th birthday, so I don't remember him very well, but I do remember that we used to love each other a lot. And sometimes he had a problem walking up the stairs and I used to help him up. So that's pretty much all I remember of him, but I'm sure he was a great person, as everybody has mentioned that know him. Okay, both of my grandfathers lived through a very eventful period of history. They saw 2 world wars. They also saw the freedom struggle in India. Sometime in the 1960s, Ezekiel's 3rd son fell in love with Sammy's 3rd daughter.
It was the other way around.
So then they got married in 1971, and the next year, both of their bloodlines mixed in me. They became my grandfathers, and I became their grandson. 12 years later, they mixed again in my younger brother. Both my grandfathers, as I said, saw a lot of history. And as we know, sometimes history is full of blood. But blood is also full of history. Every drop of our blood has a history in it. It's filled with the genetic information passed on through several generations through DNA, which we call the language of God. And the signature, the instincts of our forefathers are with us, not just in our hearts and minds and souls, but also in our bodies. Because in every drop of your blood, your generations of genes and DNA is there that has knowledge that it's been acquiring throughout. As the generations keep going by, passing on, the blood gets mixed more and more. It's something like during the Holy Communion, when we all drink the blood of Christ, we are not just becoming one with Christ, but we're becoming one with each other. Just like we eat his body in the form of bread, same way we are also part of a body. As in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, they say that how each and every part of your body is important. You cannot say your eye is more important than your hand, or your heart is more important than your brain. They all have their own uses. Same way, all of us are part of one body which we call family. And each and every person in the family has their own talent, their own things. Like as Rani Aunty was saying, my brother is talented in music and I'm talented in writing. But we do not compete with each other. We complement each other. Because whatever strengths we have as a family, they should be used to complement each other and build the family's strength. Okay. Recently, my cousins Jason Jared had a party. So I was talking to some guy in the party who has been to many different countries. He's seen a lot of wars. He's seen a lot of bloodshed, a lot of things. So I was talking to him, and I asked him, in all your traveling, in all your experiences, what is the thing that you have that made the biggest impact on you? What is the biggest lesson that you've ever learned? And he said, without any hesitation, he said, family. He said, I have realized one thing is that in the whole world, it is just your family that is with you. It is, people will come and go, but your family will always remain with you. Even if they don't like you, even if they don't want to be close to you, that is something that they can never change. They are always your family. And it is a family which will give strength. But unfortunately, in today's world, we're so busy with trying to make money or power or success, fame, that we're not able to take out time for our family. There's a very interesting story. A 6-year-old boy asked his father, said, Daddy, how much money do you make in an hour? So he said, $20. He said, why are you asking me that? He said, I'll pay you $20. You come home 1 hour early and have dinner with me. And as after all, who is it all for? As Robin Sharma says in his book with the same title, Who Will Cry When You Die? It's your family. We are living testimony to our ancestors and also living blueprints for our descendants. We have a responsibility to both of them, to our ancestors, to honor their memory, to complete their unfinished goals, to maintain their heritage, to learn from both their triumphs and tragedies, successes and failures, hopes and fears, sins and virtues. To our descendants, we have the responsibility to live our lives in a way that they will be as proud of us in the year 2110 as we are proud of our forefathers today. We have a responsibility to them also to try to leave for them a better world than what we've been given. So in closing, I just want to narrate a small little story. A man asked a wise philosopher, we often say that our predecessors were wiser than we, but at the same time we criticize their comments, often rejecting them and claiming that the truth rests with us. How is this possible? The wise philosopher responded, who sees further, a dwarf or a giant? Surely a giant, because his eyes are much higher than the dwarf, right? But if the dwarf is placed on the shoulders of the giant, then who sees further? So too, we are dwarfs sitting on the shoulders of giants. We master their wisdom and move beyond it. Due to their wisdom, we grow wise and are able to say all that we say, but not because we are greater than they. So just the last thing I want to say is that I read a very nice thing today. The full form of family is Father and Mother, I love you.